Fuzzywallz Mastering is located in Edmonds, Washington, just a few miles north of Seattle. The studio was completed in early 2022 and is used primarily for audio mastering, but also works just as well for mixing and recording scenarios. Our aim was to build a no-compromise mastering studio from the ground up, something that could provide everything we need to produce the best audio possible. After some initial designs and R&D, we were luckily referred to Ric Vaughan, who is a veteran studio builder and overall genius. Together, we made up the design, and soon afterwards, with a lot of help from Devan Register, the studio build was underway. The studio floor is floated and acoustically decoupled from the concrete beneath using sand and time-tested building techniques. We decided to go upscale and future-proof it by using eucalyptus for the listening area and heavy-duty carpet for the rest of the room. This creates a great combination of good looks and balanced sound. The whole studio is a room-within-a-room build and was tuned for the flattest frequency response that physics will allow. There's virtually no right angles or parallel surfaces. Every material you see and don't see has been spec'd out for this exact purpose, down to the signature fuzz on the front wall. The same type of fabric that covers most of the walls also makes up virtually all of the drop ceiling, which hides the much larger outer shell of the room. An acoustically transparent HVAC system is integrated within the walls and ceiling. We even ran a dedicated ground stake for the audio mains just to keep the noise level at an absolute minimum.
The monitoring setup here is very unique and sounds phenomenal. What we have are a pair of Focal Solo 6BEs, strategically placed on top of Focal Sub-6 subwoofers, which are then mounted atop custom Cherry stands. We're using isoacoustic isopucks to isolate everything, including the bottom of the stands. We designed it specifically for this room, and a shout out to Devan for single-handedly building the stands. The result is just super accurate full-range sound with no discernible distortion or resonances. It's pretty amazing. If something sounds good, you know it'll sound good everywhere else, but if something is off, it just glares, which is so crucial at the mastering stage. The desk itself is a Sterling Modular Plan A. It would be fair to say it's been one of the best investments I have ever made. It holds tons of gear and was acoustically designed to be sonically invisible. Some of my favorite gear inside this thing is… dang, I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the Crane Song stuff. This Head 192 converter. There's not too many things I could say that haven't already been said about this time and time again by those in the know. I will say that yes, it does sound that good, and I would have some serious trouble replacing this unit with anything else in the market. And the Solaris D to A converter here is our main monitoring converter. Both the speaker system and the headphones are fed by the Solaris. In fact, we did a whole review video on this converter, so check that out if you want to know more about it. The Illusia units here were some of my first mastering-specific purchases. Here we have their Expressor 500 and X-Filter 500. I started with the X-Filter and used to use it on almost every session as my main hardware EQ, but over time I've kind of delegated it to more specific purposes, like adding extra harmonics on top of mixes that are exceedingly dark or lacking snap. The TK audio units over here get used on pretty much every session now and are somewhat newer, especially the T-Komp. The T-Komp is a dual mono solid-state Vari-Mu compressor. We'll probably do a video on that one soon. It's super unique and sounds heavenly. The TK-Lizer 2 is definitely my main broad strokes analog mastering EQ. If a session is out of the box, this is probably on. We also did a review on that one, so check it out. Honorable mention goes to the Heritage Successor here. I never use it for mastering, but it pretty much lives on the drum bus whenever we're mixing out of the box. This thing just kills. Check out our video all about that one too. If you're wondering why we have these preamps and other compressors, it's mostly for tracking and occasionally for mixing. Although there's plenty of quicker digital plugins, you need preamps to record, and nothing beats these DBX units for a little extra control when recording vocals. Speaking of the digital and plug-in side of things, we're actually running everything off of a Mac Mini that's installed in this clever and solid rack thing by Sonnet. Our main DAW is Pro Tools, and we also get a lot of mileage out of RX by Isotope. That being said, we have tons of other software, and we're not above busting out GarageBand or Sonar for specific situations. When it comes to plugins, we have more than we could ever mention, but some of our favorites include Brainworks' BXV3, BaxEQ, Ozone, FabFilter Pro Q3, and pretty much anything from Universal Audio.
We also regularly have band practice and do tracking in here, and that's why you'll see the guitars, amps, effects, drums, and mics hanging out here and there. So that's the 2023 Fuzzywallz Mastering Studio Tour. We hope you enjoyed having a look around, and we'd love to hear your thoughts and any questions you may have in the comments section. Take it easy.